Most people have spent their entire lives being emotionally attacked. Not by love, not by gratitude, not by compassion, but by stress, worry, fear, frustration, resentment, disappointment, again and again and again. Now think about this. Every day the body receives emotional instructions. Some people receive thousands of stress signals, thousands of survival signals, thousands of messages that say, be careful, protect yourself, something could go wrong. Stay alert, stay guarded, stay prepared, and eventually the body learns that emotional language. The body becomes fluent in stress, fluent in worry, fluent in anxiety. Now, here is the question: what if we reverse the process? What if we deliberately exposed the body to elevated emotions over and over again? What if we created a love attack? Not a signal, not a single moment of gratitude, not a single moment of appreciation, but a sustained emotional experience. Repeated daily, repeated intentionally, repeated until the body began learning a completely different emotional language. Now think about physical exercise. One workout rarely changes a body. One healthy meal rarely changes a body. Transformation happens through repetition, consistency, conditioning. The same principle applies emotionally. One moment of love feels beautiful, but repeated moments of love become conditioning. One moment of gratitude feels uplifting, but repeated gratitude becomes biology. One moment of compassion feels meaningful, but repeated compassion becomes identity. Now imagine spending years rehearsing stress. The body becomes a stress expert. Now imagine spending months rehearsing appreciation. The body begins becoming an appreciation expert. Now understand something important. The nervous system learns through repetition. The body learns through repetition. Identity forms through repetition. Whatever is practiced repeatedly eventually becomes automatic. Now let us imagine two emotional environments. In the first environment, a person spends years complaining, judging, worrying, expecting disappointment, searching for problems. The body adapts, the nervous system adapts, the identity adapts. Now imagine a second environment. A person spends time every day generating gratitude, appreciation, compassion, kindness, connection, not perfectly but consistently, again and again and again. Now the body adapts to a different reality because adaptation is what the body does best. Now here is where things become powerful. Most people wait for elevated emotions to happen naturally. They wait for life to give them a reason, a promotion, a relationship, a healing, a victory. Then they will feel grateful. Then they will feel joyful. Then they will feel connected. But what if elevated emotions are skill? What if they can be practiced through circumstances changing? What if gratitude is a muscle? What if compassion is a muscle? What if appreciation is a muscle? And like every muscle, it grows through use. Now think about a garden. Whatever you water grows. Whatever you ignore weakens. Most people unknowingly water fear, water worry, water frustration every day. and then wonder why those emotional states become stronger. Now imagine watering gratitude, watering appreciation, watering kindness, watering connection day after day, month after month, year after year. Eventually, the emotional landscape changes. Now something fascinating happens. The body begins expecting elevated emotions. The nervous system becomes more familiar with coherence than chaos. The baseline begins shifting, and what once felt difficult begins feeling natural. Now the person no longer has to force gratitude. Gratitude arrives more easily. They no longer have to chase appreciation. Appreciation becomes available. They no longer have to fight constantly against stress because a new emotional pattern has become stronger. Now understand this carefully. The goal is not permanent happiness. The goal is not emotional perfection. The goal is emotional conditioning. Teaching the body that elevated emotions are safe. Teaching the nervous system that coherence is familiar. Teaching the identity that connection is natural. Now, perhaps this is one of the greatest opportunities available to every human being. Because if the body can learn stress, it can learn peace. If the body can learn fear, it can learn trust. If the body can learn resentment, it can learn compassion. And if the body can become addicted to survival, it can become familiar with love too. Now imagine what happens when elevated emotions stop being rare experience and start becoming daily experiences. The heart changes, the brain changes, the nervous system changes, the identity changes, and eventually the person changes not because they forced transformation, but because they practiced it, because they rehearsed it, because they conditioned it, one elevated emotion at a time. And perhaps that is the real meaning of a love attack. Not an emotion that visits occasionally, but a state that becomes so familiar. The body finally begins calling it home.